Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Blockchain Worldwide podcast. Here, of course, we're again back to another episode. We're going to be covering the Clarity Act that we have been seeing all around the news. Uh, Lashon Bush, how's your day going? How's everything?
It's going good. Appreciate it, my brother Akram. It's an honor to be back again to discuss the things concerning the XRP ledger and cryptocurrency in general and where we're at.
Well, of course, right. Of course, like there's a lot of things that happen, right? Even they postponed the Clarity Act for some reason, right? So just to keep up on speed of what the Clarity Act is and what's its main features, it defines legal categories, right? Assets such as digital commodities, securities, stable coins, splits regulatory authority. So SEC oversees investments initial offering, and CFTC oversees digital, right, commodities and trading platforms. So introduces a maturity framework for classifying assets, replacing older tests like the how we test with criteria tied to decentralized and blockchain use, right? Um, Lashawn, give us some new like things that when you saw, what do you think that ran through your mind when the Clarity Act happened and it got postponed? What was the first thing you thought of?
Well, one of the first things I thought of was that um, they're trying to postpone this until the opportune time. When I say this, what is this? They're trying to um, make sure that we don't go too early, right? I believe everything is scheduled, everything is going according to plan, but they dangle, these carrots out in front of the public as if it's time to go, right? It's time
Right.
to go. So they keeping the public guessing, right? Who's they? Those that have the ability, those that have the reins, right? Whoever's controlling the I guess the system, is it the government? Is it the elite? They are going to determine when clarity is in place, and not a moment before they determine that will clarity be in place. But they give us these tidbits and these teasers, and that's all this was. They you know they hung that carrot out there. Everybody bought the
Right.
news, right? Bought the news and sold the bought the hype and should have sold the news, hopefully, right?
Correct.
Um, because now we see where crypto's at, right? That XRP, right? Kind of low, down from its weekly high or its monthly high of $2.41. Might even be
Yeah.
a yearly high, right?
Correct. Right. Yeah, we were at $3 when it was like 2 years a year ago, and then it went down to like $1.80, 80 cents, right? So uh a lot of people told me like, oh, it's going back up, but I already knew that it's gonna be a mild push. But when that utility come in, that supply shock, then we'll get to see the correct prices of what XRP really valued at, right? And I really think its first start will be the three digits prices when it comes to XRP.
589.
589. Oh my goodness, man. 589. But no, honestly, like the Clarity Act, its goals and its impact is basically, of course, clarity, a reduced regulatory uncertainty that has plagued the crypto markets, right? And then it encourages institutional participation by clarifying rules, right? Some advocates argue to it protects innovation and clarifies roles, which is correct, right? It, but critics claim it could weaken the traditional investor protections and create loopholes, right? So, and then I think Coinbase had something and then they postponed it. I completely forgot what it is. Uh, I think that's the reasons for them postponing it when that Coinbase happened. Have you?
Well, the the president, right, or the lead, the CEO, Brian
Right.
Armstrong, the gentleman with the bald head, right?
Yeah.
Um, he withdrew support for the Clarity Act.
Oh
Uh,
yes. Oh yes.
he withdrew once he read that they were trying to limit yield and limit some of the decentralized finance, DeFi's way of generating revenue. The banks are, they're concerned because those companies, the decentralized finance companies, those fintech companies are going to be in direct competition with the banks, right? Who have traditionally lent us, well, I guess, provided us sub 1%, returns, horrific compared to what we can earn, in terms of yield on these DeFi platforms like
Right.
Coinbase. I think Coinbase currently offers a loan on your Ethereum and your Bitcoin assets. I'm sure XRP is not too far. So people, can contribute to AAMs and, well, contribute to liquidity pools, right? And
Correct.
they and earn yield that way. That's another way. So many different ways to make money. And banks are pushing back. Brian Armstrong did not like it and withdrew his support, and they consequently have postponed. But again, I believe this is all planned. Coinbase
Yeah.
is in bed with the government, right? There's Coinbase homegrown, individuals working for the United States government, and there are people in the United States government who have taken positions over at Coinbase. So a lot of exchange of like personnel, and look at Rosa Rios, right, the former 43rd um, United States Treasurer
Right.
who took a position, I believe, with Ripple as an advisory, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mhm.
Some sort of advisory board. So that's just one example, again, and a good example of how the government and fintech companies are communicating, and the right people are having the conversations, not necessarily in front of our faces, but you have to be able to connect the dots.
Correct. Absolutely. No, I mean, yeah, because I really completely like forgot about it, but then yeah, I knew that it was like basically they got scared of it and then they just like postponed it, right? Now of course the Clarity Act has its upside and its downside. So its upside we have just covered, right? The downside is basically government, right? Overreach, which is increased surveillance, reporting, and potential policy control, right? That's one. Two, custody seizure risk, which is assets held by institutions can be frozen or confiscated, right? Third, there's some things I got off of what I collected of what the bad things about the Clarity Act, right? Third, it will be the systemic risk, right? Failure of a major custodian impact many users at once, right? Also would be the barrier to small players, right? Compliance costs favor large institutions. And then five will be centralization risk, which definition is crypto held by a few large custodians create single points of failure, right? So all of those could um, stir up the pot of what's happening, right? Now, of course, I do agree with you, Lashon. Like it's all a game, right? Postponing it, doing all that stuff. It's just not something common sense because they already had the system already in place. I think they postponed it to buy themselves time, wait for the actual correct upside or the downside of the market to actually issue it. To just push it out. Then once, because that when that regulatory and clarity act passes, completely passes, my understanding prices of the crypto will go up, right? Especially with XRP and XLM because they've been fighting for clarity and regulation, right? Regulatory clarity. That's the whole case between the SEC. So it will bounce us back up to those prices. Probably not three digits, but somewhere along the lines with two to two to digits, or probably like nine to $8, $3. Because clarity can show that this asset is clear and it's fully regulated, and it could right now conduct business, right? Um, One of the things I want to point as well, pretty fascinating, and it's not something that people look at, is the gold prices. The gold ounce, it's like almost $5,000. $5,000 an ounce. So right now
Wow.
it's right now it's in the 4,700 per ounce of
Wow.
gold. Well,
Amazing.
I wish everybody luck who wants to get married, but it's yeah, it is crazy. I mean, I'm saying, but that's one of the things where they're trying to push clarity, but they're trying to postpone it, but they're seeing those gold prices are going up because gold price is going up because the current currency that we're using currently is dying. So they're trying to introduce a new currency, but with the regulatory clarity back and forth, and the gold is going up, people are like noticing the changes, like why the currencies are getting weaker, the assets, commodities like gold, silver, like precious metals are going up. Real estate, food, everything's going up. So those correlates together, right? Lashawn, what do you think? I don't know if you've seen the gold prices at 4,700 an ounce. We're gonna hit the 5K.
Well, wow, you know, I gotta pay a little more attention to the precious metals side of the house, admittedly. We know that gold is historically a store of value, especially in times of economic hardship, and we're here, right? We're here. Every so many hundreds of years, you know, there's a financial reset, and so it's 2026, and we are dead smack in the middle of a financial reset. There's you know, biblical implication if you believe in the you know, the book of Revelation, and you know, and the mark of the beast, and you know, it's very similar, right? You know, so I'm somebody who holds a master of arts in theological studies, so I have my
Yeah.
eyes and my ears, you know, focused on, you know, what's going on from that perspective, as well as you know, from the financial you know, technology perspective. But yeah, gold, you know, one of those historical stores of value. Silver, we've seen recent run-ups in its prices lately, right?
Right.
You know, we know that certain countries, you know, China, I think they're doing some funny business over there with silver, right? You know, and you know, again, what about the oil, right? You know, we see, you
Oh,
know, President Trump over in Venezuela seizing the oil, 300 billion gallons, right? If
man.
not more.
Yeah.
um,
See,
you know, so
like
energy.
when you look at the governments, sorry to cut you off, but yes, looking at the governments, brother, it's strategically, um, like the American Venezuela happened, like it was strategically planned. The way they just came in and like it was like New Year's, man. Like nobody would expect something to happen, and expect that to happen the same thing with the finance sector, financial field, right? You'll expect some, you're not gonna expect it, it's just gonna happen, right? So they're gonna play the same plan, but yeah, like when it comes to money, like yeah, but well, Sean, please take it away, honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, I think there's been talks of Greenland, right? That's the next territory. I think Nigeria was bombed, if I'm not mistaken. At least it was talks of doing that, right? If the Muslims don't stop killing the Christians, right? And we know it's not about religion, right? You know, it's about the
Correct.
resources, right?
Correct.
That's the historic narrative that, you know, we're doing this in the in defense of the faith. right? But you can't and you shouldn't be able to do the things that people often do in the name of faith and still, believe that you are aligned with the principles of the faith, right? Because that's totally opposite, I guess in terms of the colonialism, right? And there's a colonialist spirit, coming from, the Western nations, right? They have colonized the world, right? These lands, we don't want to get too deep, right? It's a crypto show, right?
Yes,
But there's definitely interaction. I believe there's definitely, this definitely relates because the top 1% hold 99% of the wealth in the world. We have people that are hungry, people that are, that are not doing well, and it's not supposed to be like that, right? Um, so if you look at our banking system, every 7 years, what happens, right? The bad credit falls off your record,
correct.
right? Where does that come from, right? It's rooted in biblical, understanding. After 7 cycles of seven is the Jubilee year, right? And so there's 7 days in a week. On the seventh day, you rest. A lot of people believe, myself included, that we are in an age, we're coming up on the dawn of the day of rest, right? Which is 1,000 year reign of Yahusha Hamashiach
Mm,
from a Hebrew Israelite perspective, coinciding with that 1,000 years of peace. And it's very interesting that all this technology is making its way to the forefront, as far as the ability to afford transparency and security and assurance, right? There's no more hiding of the hand. There's no more, oh, we have only 100 votes, but 200 votes, were counted, right? That's called fraud. that,
correct.
that
Yes.
happens in, environments where there's no transparency. There's no light, right? But blockchain is bringing that transparency. Blockchain is bringing that light. It's very fascinating. It's very interesting to see it all come
Come
together.
together. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, I've been seeing like a lot of news. Like this is an opportunity for people to pivot and trying to understand this technology. But from a serious situations, right? This technology is honestly like from what researched, it's completely like a middle class wipeout. They're trying to break the wheel, right? Uh, they want to make sure the people who are in are the ones going to be in on the top, the ones in the bottom. There's nothing in between, nothing, right? No middle class. So with this technology, those surveillance, like I said, those surveillance will be much more higher. They can confiscate, even like when it comes to, like I said, low investor players, right? Who don't have the actual assets. A lot of it, just low players, right? Are the ones that are going to be much at risk, right? Because of those low plays in a position because you hold the keys because like the person who holds more keys of the financial system is more valuable than the person who has like two keys, right? uh, that's definitely one. When it comes to precious metals, because precious metals really ties into the new currency and even the currency that we have today as well, right? Like right now, as we see right now, gold and silver is in crazy amount of prices. Gold is gonna hit 5K. Silver is already at $100 an ounce. So you can see how the the way money is changing. I've been hearing a lot of people, even my family, that they don't like the way of AI or crypto stuff like that, which I do understand. I do understand the risks behind it, but in the same time, the whole world is going to it. You don't want to be out here left behind, right?
You don't want to be the blockbuster.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I was gonna be like stationary where you currently know how you think the world will live. Like I can't be using a flip phone for the rest of my life, right? I have to have I gotta keep updating into how the world is going, right? So this is to everybody who's also listening as well. Like don't be afraid to contact us and so we can actually help you how to actually set up uh, a way so you don't get wiped out, right? The middle class is in struggle, in stress financially, believe it or not, right? And this is where like even faith come in that this is where we need each other. The world is getting darker and darker by the minute. Those once those Clarity Act and the Genius Act and all those uh, political bills come out and get passed, things are gonna fall quickly, like a domino effect, right? So this is where in a time we need each other. This is in a time we need to educate each other on how this has to definitely take place, right? And take initiative because we're here for the people. The reason why we do these podcasts is because we're not selfish. We're selfless, right? We give the people what they want. I mean, we know everything. We could just not do podcasts and run away with our knowledge and not tell the people and hits them like they don't know it, right? But no, that's why we sit down. We're here for the people because if those elites and those governments are not telling you, we're here to tell you, right? Lashon, if you want to add into that, please take the floor, brother.
No, great words, wise words, Akram, as usual. And, I'll caveat, if you're blessed for a reason, right? And most of the time, it's to be a blessing, right? It's to
Yeah.
be a blessing. If you're blessed to be a blessing. It's not necessarily for you, but it's for so that you can, allow the light of Yahuwah to be seen, right? The whole purpose of Yasharel was to be a light to the rest of the nations, right? A light that, was a reflection of the glory of Yahuwah. So um, when we partake in acts of generosity and partake in philanthropy and we bless others, that's a reflection of the heart of Yahuwah. And again, as our brother Akram communicated, the times are getting darker. There are going to be those that understand what's going on and that are leading others to the light out of the darkness. And I'm humbled, right? I know I speak for my brother Akram. It's a very humbling thing to understand what is taking place in the world right now from a geopolitical perspective, from a financial perspective, to see it all from a theological perspective, to see it all coming together. And, money's not everything. As a matter of fact, scripture says, we read, for the love of money is the love of money is the root of all evil, right? The love of money is the root of all evil. Not that money's evil inherently in of itself, but the love of you can't, it has its place. The scripture says that money is a defense, right?
Yes.
So, you can, accomplish things with money. So we have to be wise stewards, right? And we have to take advantage to your point, brother Akram, of the opportunities that are set before us. We've heard that this is the greatest wealth transfer that has ever occurred in the history of the world, and it's taking place right now. Time now. It's not coming; it's happening now.
It's happening.
The meetings are taking place. The conversations that the closed door handshakes are taking place. Deals are getting signed. Deals are getting done. Right, and we can't just go on. Like everything is going to be the same. But to your point, you see the price of the dollar. You see the value of the dollar dropping. You see the prices of those stores of value rising, right? That's signaling that something is getting ready to take place. We can no longer afford to buy groceries, right?
Right.
Not financial advice, right? But again, I'd be remiss if I did not communicate to take a look at some of those ISO 222 affiliated tokens, right? The XRPs, the XLMs, right? The IOTA, right? Everyone has a specific use case. Everyone has. I'm a big XRP guy. Akram, you know that. I know you have
Yes.
appreciation for XRP as well. We understand the role and the utility that it has, and it's not going to be a surprise for us because we see when it actually appreciates in price because we've been tracking and following the use case and the utility, and we know that it has to be priced at a very high level. There are 1 million units in XRP,
Yeah.
referred to as drops. Right? I
What up?
just Akron, we talked off camera, started
Yes.
looking into that algorithmic trading a little bit, right? And on the XRP ledger. And I came up with a script utilizing AI to my brother Akron's point. You can't dismiss it. You have to leverage it, right? If you embrace it, it's going to take you to Mars. It'll take you to Mars, right? But you have to embrace it, right? And you can't, and again, I think it's right in front of people's faces, and they're using it. They're beginning to use it a little bit, but they don't really understand that you can do 100 times more. You're 100 times more productive. Skill sets that you don't even have, right? You can
Right.
leverage AI to assist you with, right? Coding, songwriting, movie production, right? You name it, content creation.
Wow.
That
AI is taking over for real, man.
we're using Zoom. Zoom has a AI.
Oh yeah, Zoom itself has AI.
Yeah, there's not an application out here that if it doesn't have AI embedded into it, incorporated into it, they're behind the times, right? Everything has AI embedded, integrated at this point. And again, I was looking though at the script, the results of the script, the display, and it pointed out the fact that I have 48 XRP in the account, 48 million drops, right? And I'm like, wow, so when this thing, when XRP, appreciates, each one of those units are going to be utilized, right? We don't know what the price of those units are, right? Whatever the price of XRP is, divide that by 1 million, and that will be the price of the unit. But people, if they're fortunate enough to own a little bit of XRP or maybe on the financial side, business will be done in drops as opposed to one whole
Right.
XRP.
Right. Absolutely. No, honestly, like crypto, in of itself, it's like an AI currency. It's AI. Like from what I understand, like it's AI. It's smart. It's super
Smart
liquid.
contracts.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
like we like there's addresses and things like those are like smart technologies, really, really clever technologies. Like a currency became a technology. It's insane, right?
It's insane, my brother. It's
Uh,
so much going on. I know, you know, this is the third episode, and again, I apologize to the audience for not being as consistent as we would like to be. The holidays, a few things going on, but we'll
problem.
be here, and we'll be bringing the audience, the understandings and the latest and greatest. Everybody's kind of bracing themselves right now. The market's down, but we know that historically, if we looked at the last time the market dipped, or if you look at the charts,
Yes.
ripped all the way to the top, right? So, and that was the high, right? So, if you look at the charts and compare it to what's going on, you can see the same type of
Mhm.
breakout, So who knows? We may wake up, with XRP could be 100, 500,
Let's go. I'm
1,000.
like, even though the prices are down, you utilize these prices because if it goes up, you would be wishing that you bought
Took
at that
advantage.
price that we're at right now.
Absolutely, absolutely, brother.
Let's go, man. Honestly, I just wanna clarify everything of what's going on with the Clarity Act, and this is our third episode. We want to just come up on here, give you the right information of what's going on currently, update you guys, and thank you guys, of course, for watching. Please like and subscribe Lashon's channel and my channel. This is way more to come. This is a new beginning to blockchain worldwide. LaShawn, you have anything to close off?
Yeah, I just want to say that background. This is very special to me, right? This is, my ex family. I guess that used to be my PFP when I was invested in Expector, right? I pulled that blue, I guess, Avatar NFT, and there's only two blue avatars, the female and the male. I pulled this one, right? So that and I don't I'm not invested in Expector any longer, but the project is doing great things, and I continue to wish Dirk and the team well. And these are I see that this is a doctor, right? I forget his name, Doctor A. This is the XRP Million Pixel Wall. Coach. What's his name? Coach K or Coach J. So some personalities from X, David Schwartz, right? The XRP bags. Great the XRP community is awesome. It's stupendous, and we're definitely looking to make sure we take care of our family, our XRP family, in terms of bringing products and services to market, right? That are practical and useful. So not too much more to say on that note, but everything in due time. But I run a family office slash ecosystem, GYW 1313, where wealth generation and wealth preservation is the name of the game, right? Be your own bank, strategies, Index Universal Life. If anybody needs a policy, I'm a licensed life insurance agent. I know Brother Akram is also a licensed life insurance agent. Reach out, we'll get you right, right? Don't get caught short. Blockchain's going worldwide, and we're bringing it to you
All right.
live and in effect.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's take care and make sure everybody's taking care of themselves, of course. And we'll definitely hop on in the fourth episode because I like exciting stuff will happen in the fourth episode. Uh, take a look. All right. Soon. Take care, guys. Subscribe and like and make sure you support LaShawn as well. Take
All
care.
right. Take it easy,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Good night.